you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you see my hands like under somewhere, so like it's rubbing something, it's my damn dog. But hello you guys, welcome back. I haven't talked to you guys in a very long time. Welcome back. And hopefully this is the last welcome back. Don't mind my nails. They're hard to take off, like harder than you think it is. But I just want to get right into the video because I'm super excited to talk about what we'll be talking about today. And as you can see from the title of this video, we will be talking about goals, setting goals and achievements, okay? But before we start this video and get, deep into it, I want to practice saying affirmation with you guys. And the affirmations are, I love myself, I trust myself, I'm conquering the world. And when I say those affirmations, I want you guys to repeat it to yourself and believe it. I love myself, I trust myself, and I am conquering the world, okay? No matter how big or small, okay? So let's get right into it. Let's start off by addressing what are goals, okay? Goals are an aimed or desired result. So it's you wanting to get something done, whatever it is. It could be big or small. We're going to talk about the different types of goals that there are as well. So first, when you're setting a goal, I want you to ask yourself, why are you setting this goal, right? Like, it's one thing to say that you're setting a goal, but it's another thing for you to be extremely specific as to why you are setting that goal. So for example, let's say you have a goal to get a car, okay? But saying that you have just a goal to get a car is very vague. Why do you want to get a car, right? So what are cars used for? They're used for transportation. Maybe you want to get a car because you want to make your transportation time less consuming. Maybe you want, of course, to get to A to Z faster. Maybe you want more privacy because maybe you take public transportation, and there's no privacy. It runs on the transportation time. So maybe you want to have flexibility of time because when you have a vehicle, you can kind of get up and move in and out of places at your own desire. In addition to, it's less time consuming sometimes driving, depending on what city or what area you are from. So as I said earlier, I did mention that we will be talking about the different types of goals. So you have short-term goals, which are goals that I feel like can be accomplished within a day to a week. You have medium-term goals, which are more so goals that can be accomplished within a month to 90 days. And then you have long-term goals that might take years on end, maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years. For example, like maybe you want to get a degree to be a lawyer or a doctor, or you have a certain career in mind, you need certain credentials. So it might take you more time in order for you to gain those credentials for whatever career that you're working towards. So those would be, long-term goals, right? And so whatever goals that you write down, whatever goals that you have in mind, and make sure you always write your goals down, whether it's in your notebook, whether you have a notebook and it's in your notebook, or whether it's on your phone. I love Notes. Notes is such a great app because you could just, pull up your notes at any time and jot anything down, no matter where you are, if you have a phone. So yes, when you write down your goals, you want to put them in different categories as to when can these goals be accomplished, right? Give yourself a time frame and mean it. Okay, as we said in the affirmations earlier, we trust ourselves. And one of the greatest ways to earning trust with yourself is to say you're going to do something by a specific time and you getting it done by that specific time or date. Point blank period. That is one of the greatest ways in earning trust with yourself, is setting a goal or an accomplishment or whatever it is and getting that done. Plain and simple. And we want to gain trust with ourselves because it is up to us to get the things that we want out of life. So trust is so important when it comes to relationships and even yourself. So that's exactly why you want to set a goal, okay? Be very intentional and specific about what that goal is, right? That is our second step. And then seeing what is the time frame for that goal. Is it a short-term goal? Is it a medium-term goal? Is it a long-term goal? So you want to be very intentional and clear about where your goals stand. And so one thing that I really like to do, especially if you have a long-term goal, I like to work backwards. So I like to first go to my long-term goals, write down the goals that are going to take me the longest to achieve, right? And then work my way down into short-term goals. What goals can I get done today, right? That would eventually help me in the long run when it comes to that long-term goal. So let me give you an example. One of the great ways for you to have a long-term goal and then basically break it down into a shorter-term goal to just give yourself kind of that peace of mind. I know from experience that when you have a huge goal that might take you a few years, or maybe it just acquires a lot of money for you to achieve that goal, it seems like all hell, right? Especially when it's all in your head. It just seems like so much work. And I feel like if you take your long-term goals and break it down into shorter-term goals, things that you can get done today for the better of your future, and you have it on paper, it just gives you that peace of mind. So for example, right, if you have a car that you want to get, and let's say to get the deposit to get the car is $10,000, right? So boom. You want to get the car within a year, right? So you're trying to figure out, how do I make $10,000 within a year? So what I would do, right? I'm looking at a piece of paper, which is why I'm going like back and forth, because I wrote down how I would long-term, medium-term, short-term, and then shorter terms, right? So $10,000 divided up by 52 weeks, because that's how many weeks in a year, which is $192 a week, right? Wow, $192 a week, right? So if you want to make that into shorter terms, well, $192 a week, what is that by every single day, right? Like, how much would you be putting aside for 7 days out of a week in order to make $192 a week? So when you break that down, it will be 1,000 divided by 52 weeks. You take that 192 that you will have to put aside weekly. How much would that be in one day? And so when you break that down, that is literally just $27 a day. So if you put $27 a day away for an entire year, you will have $10,000 to get the car that you want, the car that might help you when it comes to saving time, when it comes to saving money, when it comes to just having privacy, being able to have that flexibility, getting up and leaving places when you want to, getting up and going places whenever you feel you need to do so. So that is one of the great ways that I will break down a goal as such to give myself that peace of mind. So that's how I would break that goal down, to give myself that peace of mind. Like, hey, $10,000 is really not that much. I promise you. It's all just a number at the end of the day. It's all just a numbers game. And so when you break it down for yourself, it gives you that peace of mind, like, hey, I can do this within a year if I really want to. And as I said, when you're setting your goals and being very intentional about why you have those goals, as explained before, when you make your goals, you want to be very specific. And that is one of the reasons why, because you're going to come across hiccups, you're going to come across challenges, you're going to come across just conundrums in general that's going to kind of want to steer you off your goal. And you always want to look back at the reasons why you have this goal in the first place, just to remind yourself that you're pushing towards something and it's going to be worth it in the end. So just keep going. Now, when you have these goals, right, like the example that I gave you, let's say for the past, week, you've been putting $27 aside every single day, and you got to that 192, right? You need to give yourself a pat on the back, because it's not easy to set any goal and to go after it and to achieve it. It's not easy at all, because as I said before, you're going to come across problems and you're going to come across challenges no matter what the goal is. That's just what happens, because life is just life, and you have to continue to push forward. And you need to always give yourself grace and always reward yourself for getting those small wins, because they mean just as much as the big ones. The small wins are what gets you to the bigger wins. And without the smaller wins, we wouldn't even have the big ones. So you need to always give yourself a pat on the back. Always tell yourself you're proud of yourself. Even let's say if you had said, sometimes I go through days where I might set a full to-do list of 6 things and I only get 3 things done, or maybe 4 things or 2 things out of 6. And I'm like, you did the best that you can, right? As one of our affirmations are, we are conquering the world as we speak. And no matter how big or small you think you are on the chessboard, you play a part, okay? Because with one piece missing, the whole trajectory has changed. So you need to always just give yourself a pat on the back for those small wins, because they mean literally just as much, if not more. Now, as I've spoken about before, right, like you're going to go through challenges, and I feel one of those challenges would definitely be procrastination. If it's something that majority of us struggle with, is just simply waiting till tomorrow to get something done. I know for a fact I have that problem, as most people do. And I'm here to tell you that one of the greatest ways to just get things done is to just not think about it too hard. Your body will literally try to convince you like, hey, never mind, you can do this again, you can do this another time. When you think about it for too long, right? Like, don't even think about it. Like, and I know sometimes it's way easier said than done, especially when you're doing something consistently, because when you start doing something consistently, just one after the other every single day, it kind of gets boring. It's kind of like the same thing all the time. You're getting the same results, maybe on a consistent basis, and it's not the results that you want to see right away. But it takes that consistency, that boring, that blah, for you to get to where you want to be, like you cannot, it's not all going to be funs and games and shits and giggles. It's just not always going to be that way. I wish it was, but it's just not. And so you're going to have those days where you don't want to get up and do it or do something, or you don't want to put the money inside, or you want to maybe go out with your friends or spend it elsewhere, whatever the case may be. Because at this point it's getting boring. It's like, okay, but it's the same thing every day. Like, I still haven't got to where I wanted to yet. And it's like, it's not right now. You still have to continue being consistent, and just getting the work done regardless of what the results are for today. We're not living for today. We are living for tomorrow. Plain and simple. We put things aside today for tomorrow, okay? Because tomorrow is our future, and you should always think about that. So when you are procrastinating, or you are, thinking about something for too long, or maybe trying to track back on your goal or whatever, and you're like, maybe this isn't worth it, just go look at the reasons why you started in the first place and remind yourself, this is why, okay? Because that being very specific as to why you have started a goal is the reason, is what you need it for. You need it to remind you as to why you started in the first place. And I feel like one of the great ways to set goals and to get through them is to have an accountability partner. Have someone, a friend of yours, who maybe also have a goal or goal similar to yours, or just a friend that you feel like you can count on that will, hold you accountable. You get what I'm saying? If you say you're going to do something by this day, you tell them, and you be like, hey, check up on me on this day, this month, this hour, and be like, hey, have you got it done yet? What's going on? Because I feel like in your mind, it keeps you kind of in check. Like, okay, so-and-so is going to reach out to me and expect for this to be done. And I kind of expect this of myself too. And remember, we are building that trust with ourselves, and building trust with yourself is saying you're going to get something done and simply just getting it done. And you don't want to break that trust with yourself, because that is the most important person you should have trust with, right? You will want to have trust with a person that you're waking up with every single day, and that is literally you. So you have that accountability partner that is going to hold you accountable and be like, hey, did you get this done? Did you do this? Did you do that? And maybe they can even tell you a goal of theirs, and you hold them accountable as well. Like, you reach out to them every single day or every once a month or whatever you guys negotiate and establish, and be like, hey, have you got this done? How far along are you with this? How is it going? And in addition to having an accountability partner, they can also check up on you, in the midst of things, and just be like, hey, like, how is it going? How is things going? How are you feeling? Are you getting those feelings yet to where you kind of want to back out and you don't want to do this anymore? Whatever the case may be, someone that you can talk to help you work through this, whether that be a friend or a family member. Anyone is perfect, as long as you know that you can count on them to just get you through it. Another thing that's very important when setting goals for you to definitely know is flexibility, okay? It's okay sometimes that you might have a goal and something might cause delays to where it's like, okay, maybe this goal is not going to get done as soon as I thought it would due to reasons that are out of your control. And it's okay to not beat yourself up and feel down. Goals, especially because they're your goals and you set them, it's all about flexibility, right? That's why I said in those short-term, long-term, and medium-term goals, I didn't say, oh, a short-term goal is 7 days. Oh, a medium-term goal is 30 days. No, I said a short-term goal is a week to 7 days. A medium-term goal is 30 to 90 days, because you just never know what can happen, and life happens. And outside of your goals, you do have a personal life as well. And if you're like anyone else, your personal life probably gets out of hand sometimes, you know, and it might distract you from what's going on, and it might cause some delays or whatever the case may be. And that is okay. It is no reason for you to just give up and throw in the towel. You know, I like to say that when life throws you rocks, you collect them and you throw them right back. You don't sit there and just take the hits and just take the beating. No, you get yourself up and you continue to push forward. It might not get done when you thought it would, but the point is that it gets done. Okay? When you are feeling doubt, when you are feeling down, that is going to help you to get back on track when it comes to your goals. Because we all have moments where, you know, we're getting things done, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're checking things off, and then life just hits. And then things just might literally go downhill. You know, you might not feel like yourself. You might not want to do anything. You know, everything just might start to just be turmoil, you know, and you're just like, what am I still doing this for? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe this isn't. And I promise you, you need to just sit with yourself for 5 minutes and visualize that person you want to be and just start all over. Okay, there's nothing wrong with just starting all over sometimes. And that's all I have for you guys today. You know, I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope you guys take something from this and take it with you and conquer the world, okay? Because that's what I want to see. I want to see more people just being better people. Like, I wouldn't even say winning, because I don't know what that looks like for everyone, you know? And I just want to see people be their best selves. Point blank, period. Like, you don't even have to try to reach for the moon and the stars. I want you to reach to your full potential within you, which is one of the reasons why I'm making this video today, and I'll be making a lot more videos like this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, and of course subscribe, and please like, comment, and of course subscribe, and remember to love yourself, trust yourself, and you are conquering the world, okay? Life is just a big game of chess. And no matter how big or small your piece plays on that chessboard, if one piece is missing, the whole game changes. So you matter, okay? Love you guys. Don't mind my nails. I see you judging me. Bye.